Hello and nice to meet you. I'm Paul Simak from Müllendorf in beautiful Austria. First of all, I want to thank the jury of IPA Award for choosing me as Fine Art Photographer of the Year. I'm so completely amazed and overwhelmed by this big honor, and I'm just very grateful. Thank you so much. Well, I think 30 years ago I wasn't interested in photography at all. I remember that I was invited at a young actress and she showed me a book of, I think it was Man Ray, with his portraits, and she was completely amazed by these pictures and said, "Oh, look at these pictures." And I thought to myself, yeah. I told her, yeah, they are fine, beautiful. But to be honest, I thought, who the hell is buying a book like this? And it took me a couple of years to figure out what photography really is. And I found myself a couple of years later in the advertising agency, and there was a little camera. And one day I took it into my hands because the coolest part of my job there was to be a part of the photo shootings for advertising. So I took this little camera and thought, okay, what's about all these little knobs? And at this magical day, I completely fell in love with photography, and since then there was never a single day in my life again without being involved with taking pictures or post-production of pictures. You know, to be honest, I always created art for myself. I never was interested a lot in posting my pictures or sharing it or to do an exhibition or stuff. Because for me it was just the pure joy to be in the studio with somebody and to retouch the pictures afterwards. So it was never my intention to take part in any competition, because I don't like competitions at all. From a certain point, there is no better or not so good. It's just another interesting kind of approach. So for me, it wasn't necessary to take part on a competition, but one day a friend of mine told me, "Paul, your new series is so," he told me, "unique." So, and I thought, okay, well, if he says this to me, maybe I should try it. And to my own surprise, when I sent in the pictures, I was awarded. So for me, this was really a big surprise because I never thought of this. So I got a little confidence, and when I saw the IPA, which is, I think, the hugest competition of them all, I thought to myself, okay, maybe I can try. But I didn't expect a lot. And when I got the message that I've won the award and that I've been awarded as Fine Art Photographer of the Year, see my goosebumps, I was completely overwhelmed. I never thought of this, that I could achieve this level. And since then, a lot of things have changed for me. For example, American international photo magazines have contacted me if I can give them an interview, or a University of Spain contacted me if they can show my pictures to their students. I have been invited to take part in exhibitions in Greece and in France, in Paris. So it was a huge step forward for me to get this award. I think it was 2 years ago when I found myself in a completely desert. There was no single bird, no plant, no fish anymore, because I was standing in a dried out lake. And the strange thing is that I knew this place before from my childhood. It was a bird paradise and a beautiful lake. And I took the pictures, and on my way home I had suddenly a picture in mind of a goddess of nature, how she would react on this strange landscape. And a couple of months later I had a model in my studio. This was a great shooting, and I didn't knew what to do with these pictures. And suddenly the idea came up to combine these pictures. And yes, so I tried it out, and this was the very first composing I've ever done so far. And suddenly it was completely clear for me. I've stepped into a new room of photography, and there's a great, fantastic new place to discover for me. The most important part of a picture for me is the facial expression, or the expression of the eyes. And to achieve it, it needs trust. So whenever I get into contact with a new person, a new visitor at my studio, I don't show him my camera first, and I don't show them the studio. We meet in the living room and we have a cup of coffee first. So we are talking, we get in touch personally. We tell about our lives and interests in life, goals in life. And after this, we go to the studio. And what happened in this short period of time of having a coffee is to build up a personal connection with this person. And you will see after this, the pictures will become completely different, because otherwise it's like to go to the dentist and the drill is in the waiting room. You know, as a photographer, you will come to the point sooner or later when you struggle with your work as a photographer. You're not happy with your own pictures anymore. And be grateful for this moment, because this is the point when you discover that you have developed. So just go forward. And to go forward doesn't mean always to go the straight line up. It's like standing on the floor and you're looking up to the balcony and you don't know how to get up there. And you try to climb up the wall and you don't succeed. So maybe it's not the direct way which leads you to the goal. If you go around the corner, if you learn something new, there's a little other door, and if you come through this, go through this door, and suddenly you come up on the first floor and you're looking down and say, oh, how did it get here? So always think, just go forward, and it's not the direct way. Before I was a professional photographer, I was a copy texter in an advertising agency. And a good text always has to create pictures in your mind, and a good picture always has to tell a story. So these are the both sides of a medal. So everything is connected. So inspirational stuff can come from many different sources. Everything can be an inspiration for your work. It can be a song title, it can be the title of a book, it can be a single line in a book. It can be, of course, a picture of another photographer, but even more a picture, a painting of an old master. I love the old masters like Vermeer, Caravaggio, Rembrandt, and I really can tell you, please study the work of the old masters. It's worth it. They have done so incredible stuff, and it's so mind-opening. Don't think as a photographer, think like an artist. So as you see, I'm really fascinated by the skills of the old masters. And it was always my own intention to create pictures that have a kind of painterly style. And this is achieved by the techniques the old masters have used too. So I like the retouching nights. Sitting in front of my screen and listening to good music, and I have my pencil in the hand, and it's like solving riddles, and I love it. So I will stay in this old school work in progress, even if artificial has come into our lives. You know, I think it's a completely new art genre which has come to stay, and I'm looking quite interested to it. But until now, I have decided to do it all by hand because I like this craftsmanship. That's it.